Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, motorcyclist collides with a truck in fatal brownstone crash. A 20-year-old motorcyclist died from injuries he sustained after colliding with a truck in Brownstone, St. Anne on Friday. He has been identified as Kwame Howlett, a laborer of Philadelphia in Brownstone. Police say the collision involved a high-rev motorcycle driven by Howlett and a white forward Isuzu motor truck driven by Leonard Wilson of Menard Heights in Brownstone, St. Anne. Lawmen say around 8:30 a.m. the motorcyclist overtook a line of traffic around a corner and collided with a motor truck. The police were called to the scene and Howlett was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. DeAndre Allen, a resident of Brownstone who said he knew Howlett, expressed his sadness after learning the news. "He's a youth me grew up with still, and a good youth. Him never pass me and no heal me. Yeah man, from box truck and marble days. Just sad that this happened. Rest in peace to Real G," Allen said. He urged the road users to be cautious. "When I your time still, you know. But anything you can do to stay alive, you have to do that as best as possible. I'm not sure what really happened. Just hear that he meet in the crash and drop out. But this just shows that every man have to be careful upon the tar," he added. Andrew McBean, a public transport operator who traverses the Ucherias to Brownstone route, said while he did not know the deceased, he is still shaken up by the accident. McBean said he or any other public transport operator who traverses that area could have been involved in the crash. He called on residents to be extremely careful while traveling in St. Anne, especially on unfamiliar roads. I always tell them when you are traveling in St. Anne, you have to be alert, because it's a dangerous parish when it comes to crashes. And if you don't know the road, don't even think about speeding or overtaking. I'm not sure about the details of this crash, but to see a young youth die like that is very sad, he said. According to the Road Safety Unit, as of Friday, October 4, 279 people have died on the nation's roads. St. Anne accounted for 31 of the 279 fatalities. Suspect in St. James police hit and run in custody. The St. James police are reporting that the suspect in the hit and run that seriously injured a police constable is now in custody. The suspect was earlier identified as DeLeon Reed, otherwise called the Bulby and the CJ. Reed surrendered to the police on Saturday in the presence of his attorney, authorities said. The police had earlier launched a manhunt for Reed following Friday's incident. According to the head of the St. James Police, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, the police were conducting a roadblock exercise on the Granville Main Road in the vicinity of St. John's when one constable signaled a white Toyota Probox to stop. The Probox slowed down, and upon reaching close to the police officer, the driver sped up, hitting the cop and sending him over a precipice. The constable was rescued from the precipice in an unconscious state. He was taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital and remains in critical but stable condition. The Jamaica Constabulary Force commended members of the public for their assistance that it said influenced the rapid progress made in the investigation. Man dies after gun attack in Red Pond, Spanish Town. The police in St. Catherine are probing the murder of a man who was gunned down in Red Pond district in Spanish Town on Friday. Dead is 46-year-old Anthony Breckenridge, otherwise called the Big Dread of Paisley Drive in the area. The police report that about 8:30 a.m., Breckenridge was walking along the roadway in the community when he was pounced upon and shot repeatedly in his upper body. The police were summoned and he was found face down in blood with gunshot wounds. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital where he subsequently succumbed to injuries received. An investigation is being undertaken by detectives assigned to the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch. Shootout in Lee's Land, Spanish Town, between security forces and the gunmen. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing a shooting incident involving members of the security forces and the gunmen in Spanish Town on Friday night. The reported firefight occurred in the community of Lee's Land. It is reported that about 10:15 p.m., the team went to the community in search of armed men. The security forces reportedly came under heavy gunfire upon entering the community. the fire was returned. A car was damaged in the incident. 4 guns, 57 rounds of ammunition seized at a party in Central Village. The St. Catherine South Police early this morning seized the 4 guns and the magazines containing 57 rounds of ammunition at a premises in Central Village where a party was being held. The police report that between 3:50 a.m. and 5:25 a.m., a team conducted a targeted raid in the area and searched the premises. During the search, the firearms and ammunition were found at different locations at the back of the premises. No one was arrested in relation to the seizure. Meanwhile, the St. Andrew North Police seized an illegal firearm in the community of Halls Green, Temple Hall this morning. The news understands that the gun was found on a motorcycle. Investigations into both the seizures are ongoing. Sections of some Westmoreland communities under curfew. Sections of the communities of Geneva, Top Lincoln, Kings Valley, Belle Isle Road, and Crowder in Westmoreland have been placed under a curfew by the police. The curfew started at 6 p.m. on Friday, October 4, and will continue until 6 p.m. on Sunday, October 6. During the curfew, all persons are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. 2 brothers among 4 road crash victims on Friday and Saturday. 2 brothers were among 4 motorcyclists who died in road crashes across 3 parishes on Friday and early Saturday. 29-year-old Kenroy Miller and 29-year-old Vinroy Miller collided on the Spot Valley Main Road in St. James about 12:50 this morning. The siblings were driving in opposite directions when they collided, suffering fatal injuries. The news was informed that they were not wearing protective gear and the motorcycles did not have headlamps. Counsel for the Rose Hall Division, Anthony Murray, responding to the tragic incident, observed that the Spot Valley Main Road is becoming a crash hotspot. In St. Anne, a motorcyclist lost control of his vehicle, which crashed on the Hunsley Main Road in Brownstown Friday morning and later died. It's reported that about 8:30, 20-year-old Kwame Howlett overtook a line of traffic and came upon a puddle of water. While trying to avoid the puddle, he lost the control of the motorcycle and crashed into an Isuzu truck in the opposite lane and suffered multiple head injuries. In the third incident, a 26-year-old man died on the Mount Olivet Main Road in Manchester Saturday evening. The crash involved a Suzuki Jimny motorcar and a Nissan motorcycle with no registration plate affixed. It's alleged that about 7:45, the driver of the Jimny failed to keep left and collided head-on with the motorcycle. The driver of the motorcycle died on arrival at hospital. Mackenzie and Bunting condemn deadly shooting at the Mandeville market. The political directorate has condemned the Friday morning shooting at the Mandeville market in Manchester that left 2 people dead and 5 others nursing gunshot wounds. The Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond Mackenzie, has strongly denounced the incident. There is no justification for this disgraceful and savage act, said Mackenzie. He noted that the preliminary reports are that shortly after 10 a.m., 2 men accessed the market from the back entrance and started shooting. And of course, users of the facility had to flee for their lives. It is not yet known who the shooters are or their motivation for their evil deeds, but I want to give encouragement to the police who have already secured the area and to urge them to do everything possible as quickly as possible to arrest the perpetrators and place them before the courts, Mackenzie added. The minister has expressed the condolences to the families of the persons who were killed and wished a speedy recovery to those who were injured. Mackenzie disclosed that he has spoken with the mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell. I want to let the vendors, shoppers and the commuters know that measures will be implemented to ensure their safety and the peace of mind so that they can come out over this weekend and beyond to conduct their business, he said. For his part, the opposition spokesman on national security, Peter Bunting, also condemned the shooting. According to Bunting, the tragic event highlights the ongoing threat of violent crime plaguing communities across the country. My deepest condolences go out to the families of those who lost their lives, and I wish a swift recovery to those injured in this horrific incident. No Jamaican should have to live in fear of violence, whether they are at work, at home, or in public spaces, Bunting said. We must urgently strengthen our efforts to bring an end to the bloodshed and restore safety to our towns and the cities, he added. The opposition spokesman said the mid-morning shooting that took place only a couple hundred yards from the Mandeville police station demonstrates the level of impunity with which criminals can operate in the parish capital. He is urging the Ministry of National Security and the High Command of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to increase the personnel and other resources assigned to the division before the parish loses its image as one of the most peaceful in the island. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.